So the boat is basically steering itself. Well, it is steering itself. We're on kind of a broad reach here. A beam reach. Well, we're pointing up a little bit too. So. Feels good to get out on it. I just hadn't done much with the boat. I don't know, you know, it's partly my back, just partly malaise. It feels great to be out here, quite honestly. This is, as always, with everything I own, it's different. It's not the usual. So this is a Freedom 28 cat catch. So it has two carbon fiber freestanding masts. They are not guyed at all. So they're just freestanding, fully batten sails. I need to make some new sail covers. I was looking online and I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to make my own. I have this old treadle sewing machine up in the guest house. So that's my plan. There's a company called Sailrite that makes kits. And they make kits for all kinds of stuff. Dodgers, different canvas projects. And that's what this is. Sail covers are a canvas project. So, made out of sunbrella or some equivalent fabric. My old sail covers, they are just like shot. So I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do their sail covers that stay in place, and they're like a Doyle stack pack. Doyle is a sail company on the East Coast that I think patented the idea, maybe, I don't know. But they're kind of famous for them. And so they came about because catamaran charters in the Caribbean, you know, these were non-professional sailors, and harsh UV, which are sails are subject to damage from UV, and especially the thread. So these charter companies asked Doyle, who made a lot of their sails, to come up with a sail cover design that would stay in place, so people could just drop the sails and then the sails would be protected from the sun. So after a few tries, they came up with the stack pack. So I think it's a great idea. Normally I have to take the sail covers off each time I go sailing, put them on after I get back. It all takes, you know, not that much time, and it kind of bonds you with the boat, I guess. Honestly, it's a pain in the ass. So that is my plan. Now that may take me a little while to do. I don't have enough else going on. So that's kind of my plan. I'm smoking some Rattray's Marlin Flake. From when? I don't really know. It says made in Germany. From Arango Cigar Company is the U.S. importer. Full dark Virginia Flake, ready rubbed. And it's an open tin, and I think it's been around for a while. So it is really mild and nice. Smoking it in a Whitehall Jumbos. I don't know if it will focus on that. Focus. Can you see the stamp? It's nice thick walls. You know, I like these kind of half-bent, sort of generic shapes with a little nice wide saddle bit. And they just feel right to me these days. When I started smoking, I liked straight pipes. You know, they were easy to clean, simple. I don't know, they just appealed to me. But now, these days, I like kind of this shape, honestly. This half bent, wide saddle bit, thick walls. And this has a few fills and stuff, of course. You know, I don't think it was a very expensive pipe when it was new. When was it new? It was probably new in the 60s, I guess. So we're just kind of scooting along. I'm going to have to, not scooting as fast as I'd like, I'm going to have to dive in and scrape the bottom here one of these days. Oh, Puget Sound is cold. It's cold. So I have a wetsuit, but dang it, I feel like and especially I've got a few COVID pounds here, quarantine pounds, like. So I'm pushing like 245. I'm 6'3", but still, that puts me in the fat boy category. So body mass index over 30. So I'm at risk. I'm at higher risk for COVID because I'm fat. Actually, I've never weighed more than this. This is kind of my top weight. I've been there before. So anyway, it's just delightful. I'm just having a great time out here. So I needed to do this, and it's taken me this long to do it. I'd come down to the boat and read and stuff, you know, but I just wouldn't take it out. Well, once you do it and give the systems a little exercise, it's easier the next time. Yeah. Keep an eye out for Sunday evening so there's no vessel traffic other than the ferry, and it's on a every other boat schedule on the weekends. It's the ferry system's plan to preserve their aging crews and not have them be sick and call in sick and have to cancel whole runs because of sick ferry staff. And it's not like you can go to a temp agency and say, I need 3 deckhands. You know, it just doesn't work that way with the ferries. So that's your plan. It really makes you kind of plan ahead if you are riding the ferries across Puget Sound, because it's can be a long wait. I'm on the motorcycle, so it's not as bad, but if you miss one, it's an hour and a half sometimes before the next one. So, but yeah, I'm just having a good time. The boat is liking it too, I can tell. It's just kind of all the familiar little creaks and groans and, you know, little whooshing sounds of the water against the hull when you're down below, and yeah, it's just its own kind of perfection. This Marlin Flake's good. You know, I never have really gotten my sense of taste back after that bout in March, that week. But this has enough flavor that I can taste it. There have been a few tobaccos lately where I just can't even taste them. So, kind of like you're smoking a bad burley or something like that. Imported briar. You know, it's an American carved pipe when it says imported briar. Forget what I paid for this. $20, $15 on eBay. But I like it. So we're just toddling along at about 4 knots. I'm down about a knot. So normally we'd be doing 5 to 5.5 with this kind of little breeze and on a reach the way we are. So yeah, I got to get under there and do a little scraping. I can tell there's some mussels and some barnacles hitching a ride. You know, you'd think this would be the ultimate socially isolated activity other than motorcycling. But, you know, when they lock stuff down, they just, no boating. Everything's closed. You can't be out on your boat. So that was one reason, you know, I did not take advantage of the furlough to go out sailing. It felt like, plus you're really visible. You know, I mean, it's like, oh, look at that. There's a sailboat out there. He shouldn't be out there. So I don't. Well, they did say the Coast Guard was actually stopping people. They weren't writing them tickets, but they were stopping them, letting them know that no, this was not what you are supposed to be doing when you're locked down. So I didn't want to be that guy. Yeah, this boat is really quite different. It's not a speed demon at all, but it's really stable. It's 52% ballast, which is a high ballast ratio. And it just is safe as a house. And those freestanding carbon fiber masts are just unique pretty much to Freedom. A few others did them, but it just makes a whole lot of sense to me. Instead of the mast, a spindly little aluminum mast that can't manage on its own, freestanding, it has to have all these wires like a biplane. And it's pulling it down, trying to drive it through the bottom of the hull. Ugh. The deck has to be more reinforced, but I don't know, it just appeals to me. And it's full of interesting little design decisions, you know. An East Coast boat built in Newport, Rhode Island in 1983. Has kind of an East Coast look to it, somehow. And the cat catch rig actually is super functional. It isn't super fast, or speed is more how much sail area you carry, but it doesn't point as high as a racy little sloop does either. So, you know, when you're in inland waters, it's kind of all about how high can you point to go up into the wind. And yeah, this boat is not optimal in that regard. But the mizzen, you raise that first, and then it just weathercocks you right into the wind and makes raising the main easy. And everything, all the lines come back here to the cockpit. There's no being up on deck with a winch on the mast, you know, like a lot of boats. Lines can get tangled up. The full battens can get kind of tangled in the lazy jacks. But the idea is sound. Oop, looks like the wind is kind of dying off here. Okay, I may have to actually get up and do some steering here. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring you guys along. It's fun.